This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, May the 13th, is a Vancouver Grizzlies icon. Well, I call him a Grizzlies icon, even though he played for Sacramento, Atlanta, Washington, Miami, and the Knicks. He's 45 years old today, and he's actually the son of a former NBA player himself. So he's done pretty well for himself. His name is Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby's father was Henry Bibby, who played for the Knicks and helped them win 2 NBA titles in 1970 and 1973. While playing high school ball in Arizona, it was natural that he would play for the Arizona Wildcats in college. And as a freshman, he helped Arizona shock a lot of people by knocking 3 #1 seeds out on their way to winning the tournament in overtime against University of Kentucky. So he looked pretty good and all that. Bibby and his father are one of only 4 father-son duos to each win an NCAA title. The Johnsons, Marquise for the famous 1977 Marquette squad, and Chris Johnson, who I don't know who he played for, but anyway. Scott May for Indiana, his son Sean played for North Carolina, and Derek and Nolan Smith. But anyway, it was amazing. He was a good sophomore and all that. And Bibby decided to enter the NBA draft. And he did. So he went to the 98 NBA draft with high expectations. Of course, the 98 draft would actually be known for 2 major trades. Number 1, Dirk Nowitzki was drafted by Milwaukee, but then his rights were traded to Dallas for the rights to Robert Tractor Trailer, who was the number 6 pick. And let's not forget that this was also the draft that saw Vince Carter and Anton Jamison, North Carolina teammates, swap, as Jamison was drafted by the Raptors and Carter was drafted by the Warriors, but they switched at the draft. And of course, this was when Michael Olowokandi was the number 1 overall pick and did not work for the Clippers. Vancouver got the number 2 pick and got Mike Bibby. And it worked out. Bibby was a fantastic player and all that. Vancouver would struggle as a franchise, but the way Mike Bibby was, it was huge and all that. Just hours after the Grizzlies were sold to Memphis, Bibby and Brent Price were traded to Sacramento for Jason Williams and Nick Anderson. So the question on everyone's mind was, if the team stayed in Vancouver, would Mike Bibby stay in Vancouver? We might never know. However, worst off for Canucks fans, Grizzly fans, as you are, is that he ended up playing great for Sacramento for 7 seasons. Him and Chris Webber were a great duo. In fact, in his first season with Sacramento, the Kings won 61 games, which was an NBA best and almost could lead you to win a trip to the finals at the very least. Nope. Unfortunately, though, Bibby and his Kings could not overcome that 7-game series that saw the Lakers get kind of a tainted win in Game 6. Although Mike Bibby did put up a clutch shot in Game 5 to give Sacramento a chance to win the title, the conference title. He was given a 7-year, $80 million contract by Sacramento. Unfortunately, injuries may hamper him and all that. Bibby looked pretty impressive and all that. They would keep making the playoffs and all that. But after a first-round series loss to the Spurs in 2006, Sacramento's franchise would not get to the playoffs until this current year, 2023. So, anyway, Sacramento really loved Mike Bibby, and he loved the city back. At the trade deadline in 2008, Sacramento decided to trade him to Atlanta in exchange for many players that didn't work out for Sacramento. Anyway, Bibby did okay and all that, guiding the Hawks to their first playoff series in 8 years. And the Hawks, as the 8th seed, actually forced the Celtics to a Game 7. Lost, but still. Anyway, Bibby was doing pretty well for himself for Atlanta. He even got a 3-year, $18 million contract. His leadership and unselfishness helped Atlanta do well. However, though, at the trade deadline in 2011, Atlanta was falling flat, so they traded him to Washington alongside a first-round pick for Kurt Heinrich. Unfortunately, Bibby would agree to a contract buyout. And he gave up his $6.2 million salary in hopes to join a contending team. Miami ended up signing him after he cleared waivers and played in all 20 playoff games in that 2011 season. That saw them lose to the Mavericks in the final. So Bibby looked good. Unfortunately, though, Miami decided to prioritize getting Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole over Bibby. Bibby signed a 1-year deal with the Knicks and actually backed up Jeremy Lin during the Lin sanity phase. He didn't see much playing time. However, when Lin actually had a season-ending injury, him and Baron Davis got to be the starting point guard and all that. After 2012, he just basically retired because he was deemed unlikely to play it well. He had a few decent coaching things, but couldn't really do too much. But yeah, Mike Bibby actually is the nephew of a decent MLB pitcher by the name of Jim Bibby, and actually the brother-in-law of Eddie House. Bibby and his wife have 4 children. And his son actually played for South Florida/Appalachian State in basketball. Anyway, 2 decades after leaving college, Bibby did graduate from UNLV with a Bachelor of Arts in Multidisciplinary Studies. So in his career, he played 1,001 regular season games, amazing. Put up 14.7 points per game, 5.5 assists per game. In the playoffs, he led Miami to that deep drive in 2011, getting them to the finals, whereas he could have done it with Sacramento, but failed miserably, unfortunately. He played in 105 playoff games, though, 12.6 points per game, not bad. And helped Arizona win the 1997 collegiate title, which I talked about years ago. But yeah, Mike Bibby was just that damn good. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond at Duke.